Hey, what's going on, guys? Aaron here. Welcome to the video. So, hope you guys are doing well. I want to touch on Ionic digital updates, Celsius updates, talk about borrowers, retail clawbacks, but mostly Ionic digital. So, before I get into the news, if you have not already done so, I would suggest you fill out this form. I will leave the link to this below. And what this does is it puts pressure on the Ionic digital board to give us liquidity as fast as possible and also force them to be more transparent with the financials. How much cash they have, how much Bitcoin they have, how much cash they're burning every month. All of these things that we still have not gotten a full picture about. And I made a video last week about how to do this. And again, all this is doing is it is using your shares as a shareholder of Ionic Digital to put pressure on the board and to give options for liquidity as quickly as possible. Now, liquidity means having the ability to sell or transfer your shares to get cash. So again, I'll include the link to this below. So a couple things really quick before I head to Ionic Digital. We've got this really long 38-page motion that came into the docket about a week ago or so, talking all about how people that had a loan, aka the borrower class, were very misfairly treated, from incorrect calculations of their claims, all sorts of delays, a massive lack of transparency, talking about how little time they had to refinance and just how confusing it was regarding the refinance option. Also about how the plan administrator, Chris Ferraro, pushed the effective date of the plan before they were actually ready to roll out the plan. And they say that possibly they did that so everybody could get their bonuses. And they give a ton of facts and a lot of detail here, which I'm not going to go through, but if you're in the Borrow group on Telegram, you have probably heard about this. Essentially, they got really mistreated. And to be fair, when people were asking me about refinancing, I was like, I don't even know anymore. I was like, go to the Telegram group. It's too confusing. It's bizarre. And that's what they're saying. It's very, very confusing. And they got very much the short end of the stick here. And they are basically just wanting the correct value for their claims. They just want things to be made right. So we'll see what happens with that. So let's get to some Ionic Digital news. The first one, which some people were like, why are they doing this? Ionic Digital is sponsoring an event. And people are like, hold up, like we are the shareholders. We had no vote in this. What's going on? Why are they using money to sponsor a summit? So anyway, that's part of the issue here. There was a long video with the interim CEO, John Penver, talking about Ionic Digital, but there are a couple slides that kind of highlight some of the announcements. So the first one here, they have mined 107 Bitcoin during September, and they are currently holding 2,102 Bitcoin as of September 30th. So it has a value higher than 135 million right now since the price went up since they released this, but it's around 3% of our claim if hypothetically they sold all the Bitcoin and then they paid everybody their pro rata share of that Bitcoin. It would be an additional 3% or so. So not a ton, not a huge percent. Now, how much Ionic Digital is worth right now in the open market is TBD, because we just do not know how much someone else or another company or another mining company would come in and buy the hardware, the infrastructure, everything of value here. We just do not know yet. There's a lot of people guessing. Some people think it's worth maybe 8% of our claim. Some people think it may be worth 13 to 14% of our claim. They were valued at around 15% when we originally received the shares. But again, it's just too soon to know how much they would go for right now. Obviously, as Bitcoin keeps going up in value, the value of our shares will go up, or the value of everything they're talking about here. 15,552 miners in this new building 2. When they complete this facility, they're going to have around 66,000 miners. So I'll include this below for you guys if you'd like to check it out. And the next one right here, Ionic confirmed that it has agreed to a meeting with an individual Ionic shareholder. No idea who that individual is. Nobody really does. And certain other parties, including Figure Markets. So good news is that already Figure is getting to speak with Ionic Digital. But again, they need more people, and the more people that fill out this form, the better. Or I should say, the more shares they get, the better. And again, this is not giving your shares away. You still own the shares. This is not changing anything regarding your ownership or what you can do with the shares later on when there is liquidity, when you can sell them if you wanted to. This is just using the shares to pledge support for transparency, for change, and for getting liquidity and having the ability to sell. So it looks like Ionic has a registered public accounting firm now, which is great, BDO USA. For a while, they didn't have an accounting firm because the one they had said, we're not going to audit and work with crypto companies anymore. So now it looks like they have one. So that is good news. So between this announcement and this longer announcement right here, it's a lot of numbers and a lot of pumping people up as to what they're doing, right? At the end of the day, people care about two things. One, when can they sell or buy if you want to buy more of this company? And two, how much will it be to buy or most likely sell, right? At the end of the day, that's all we care about, or 99% of us care about. So I do hope that we can sell our shares very soon. Good news, because what we have done with Figure is forcing them to give us more data here. I have a feeling that had we not used Figure and had we not collected a lot of people's shares to pledge support, they may not have given us all this data, but maybe they would have, but that's just how I feel. And finally, if you have a retail clawback, you have until today, actually, so probably after you watch this, to fill out or to settle for the 13.75% of your withdrawal preference exposure. So if that is something you want to do, I'm sure you're already aware of this because they've sent emails, and this is not the first time I've talked about this. So guys, that's it. Just wanted to make a really short video, keeping you guys up to date. The things that most people want to know, Ionic, right? What's going on with that? There seems to be some good movement on that front. And regarding the next payment, there is no updates on that. The last time they updated people, they said, we hope Q4 of this year, but if not, before the effective date of the plan or the 1 year anniversary. So before, let's say, February of next year. But there hasn't been any other updates with that. And if you're still having issues with getting your first distribution, hopefully you've been in contact with them. They are really getting on top of messaging people and emailing people. But I'll include the link to create a support ticket if you have not gotten that handled. So I hope you guys are doing well. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.